And finally, a memory. This pin at the back helps open the discs well. In this video, I'll show you how to remove the tensioner from the industrial sewing machine head, how to disassemble it. Change a piece if we need to replace it, whether it's the thread pull spring. Remember that the thread pull spring is a very important part. It's important for tightening the thread when we pull it up, helping to form the stitch so it doesn't come out loose. It's essential that this thread guide spring located in the tensioner is in good condition and well adjusted. So now we are going to disassemble it, fully assemble it, and change the thread spring if we need to. Alright, first of all, let's remove it from the head and go to the right side here, which has a screw holding it to the entire machine part. Subscribe. We can see it here. Now let's loosen it and take the whole piece out. We loosened the screw. Now let's remove the entire tensioner, which should come out completely. And here we have it. Well, here we have the tensioner. This is a pin, a peg. When lowering the tensioner, we can discard it because here is when we raise the presser foot, it directly engages this pin, and what it does is that the discs open, let it go. Thread left loose, so we can pull it manually. We have to consider this little pin. We can take it out, we can put it to the side, so we don't lose anything. Now we are going to take out piece by piece and put them in order, ascending and descending, so we don't get lost when putting it back together. Now we are going to loosen the nut from its adhesion and place it here on the right. Usually the sensors come with a small washer here that gives pressure to the spring. Many work without them, but others do need it. But it's not essential for all of them. Then we remove the spring. Then we have the disc positioner. We place it on this side, and then we have the two discs that hold the thread. Here we have the bolt with the tensioner piece. Let's loosen the screw that's holding it. The stud, which is where all the parts go, doesn't hold it to this part. We loosen it and remove the bolt. Then we have got the spring, which many people find tricky to remove, and we'll see. Let's do this here and we put it on a little bed. De despomatas del moposanto necessitarum te poserelis. Thanks for watching the video. Then remove this part. We move it. The part should be placed gently without breaking the clip at the top. And we see it comes out completely. Normally this piece tends to break and shatter. Like this. We need to change the spring, okay? We have all the parts, which are the tensioner parts. Now we need to assemble it again. The last piece we removed, which was the spring, goes in first. Now we're going to do the same to remove it. Well, now let's insert the thread spring. We have the tip, and it should always go toward the groove by turning it so that the whole tensioner part goes inside there. And we can see that it already started now. The little leg we have inside, which goes in the spring, this one is responsible for embedding into one of these in this slot. It fits into this slot, and that applies the tension the spring needs. There we can see the little leg. It's inside and needs to fit in this slot Move it until the slot fits into it. Spring contact. We can see that it's ready when it looks like this. We need to tighten the screw, and we have our spring ready. We see that it is working, the tension we need. Now let's move on to the other pieces. First disc, second disc. Unlike the first one, the piece that helps us rat in the discs. Then we go with the spring, which also suffers damage. It also wears out, and therefore we must change it too. Usually, when it wears out, it no longer has much tension. It's much easier now because it's much more tense. But when it loses tension, we should replace it too. And then the support, remember, the pieces need a little washer, which helps us with the tension. In this case, it doesn't have it, but for you, it should go before this part.
Lounge is in
Dia di paano sa pedals may baliang documented. Thanks for watching the video, and we have the tensioner ready. And finally, let's remember that it has this pin at the back, which helps us to open the disc. Now we are going to proceed to insert it into the machine head. Well, we have the hole. Now we are going to insert it this way, so that the spring sits higher than this lever part that helps with the thread. And doing this function, we see that it remained quite salty. We can sink it completely. It reaches a limit. Many don't have this negative result, and therefore the tensioner goes inward. So there should be roughly a stop of this distance. Thread it this way. I put it up here. So it stays linear from that point to here. Once it's there, we tighten the screw that attaches it to the machine. We have it here, which holds the whole tensioner to the head, and we see it doesn't fall off, keeping the tensioner ready to work and totally linear.